today there is a plate compactor that needs some love. It's a Predator 179cc engine on it. It's missing the hose for the vent, or at least maybe this is it, just got pulled, don't know. And throttle is a little janky. It may just needs to be tied down, and this one removed, but we'll cross that when we get there. And it's missing a few handle adjustments here. I don't know why that one's on there, but it is. And we need to do a carb clean on it. I'm assuming the carb clean is because the vent is open, and usually don't use this in a clean environment, so dust will eventually get in there. And over time, it will just go to the carb, and you don't want that. So I'm pretty sure it's majority of it just the carb cleaning, and also the fixing of the funkery. It also needs a new gas cap, so we will be putting one on there. I may have one, I don't know. If not, we'll just buy one. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to probably get this carb off and start cleaning it while we do everything else, and then we'll take off the throttle and see if we can't get that going, and then hopefully that should be it. I apologize for the noise. My neighbor's getting some work done, and it's been like this all weekend. Looks like we're going to need a new filter. It's been crushed. And of course, I'm assuming most people either have seen or not at least know the story of Toy Story. But do you ever wonder if all the nuts and bolts in the world just decide to collectively, when they fail, just make it as difficult as humanly possible? I kind of do. There's a clip on this side. For the tank vent. There we go. Now it's the crank vent. And this thing has a lot of vents. I'm not a fan of the ventless tanks, or the one that vents like these. I mean, they're probably fine, but I'm just not a fan. So there's definitely some corrosion. And it kind of seems like that's not right. In fact, I know it's not right. It's not really going to do much. Not anchored in there. We'll have to fix that. So I'm going to take it off. Oh my gosh. Oh, kids. Not tight enough. A little tighter. There we go. So now take the spring. Okay. I'm going to clean this. You've seen me clean these 1,000 times. I'm just going to put it in the cleaner, and then we're going to get working on the other items. Here's my problem with Predator engines. A lot of times they come with very specific hardware, and filters and everything can be a little hard. That gas cap is proving to be pretty annoying. I was able to find one, or a couple of them really, but they're going to take forever to get here, and the owner said it doesn't really matter. He doesn't really care about the gas cap. He just wants it to run better. Like, sounds good to me. Having said that, this filter is pretty hard to find. I mean, I did find it, but knowing that it is hard to find, I have, this is the intake off of it. This is off of a different one, except the difference is, see that? This one will accept a different style of filter, which is more of the Honda style. Those you can find anywhere. So when we put it back on, we're going to be putting that on there instead. And if you look at it, that plug is different, but that just goes over. But if you look at this, we just have to take that out of the tube. That's fine. That will fit over here, no problem. This is the same size from the looks of it, so the crankcase vent should fit fine. The intake, they're all the same. So same thing with for the fuel on and off and choke levers. So we should be pretty good. There's a few minor differences, one being that that's no longer going to be a problem. Let's see what we have. Well, I definitely saw a little gunk in there. It came out so far pretty well. When I took the fuel out of the tank, that came out of it. Now, on the long term, burning 2-cycle fuel in a 4-cycle engine can cause buildup and problems. If this is a one-time occurrence, it shouldn't be a problem at all. But I don't think it's a one-time occurrence. Man, can you even adjust this at all? No. Usually this looks like it's pressed in pretty far. Oh, that's in there. There we go. right tool for the right job. Yeah, that does not want to come out. Okay. I know the emulsion tube should come out of this. Let's run in the cleaner. That might help loosen it up a little bit. I'm gonna brush this off real quick. Nothing perfect, but it's better. You know when you buy those really cheap carbs off of like Amazon or eBay or something? That's basically what this is. Okay. Like I'm pretty sure the same factory that makes Predator also makes the carbs for. Oh, wow, what is going on? Okay. Now this part isn't strictly necessary, but I like doing it. Mainly because water can get in here. Then when you put the carb on, over time water will just go to the bowl. And while yes, it's not a whole lot, it's more than I wanted there to be. So I'm going to clean this up and bring you back. So I am installing the cable while the carb is soaking a little bit, but that screw head is pretty stripped out, so I sprayed it with penetrating oil. Let's see if we can work it free. Okay, there we go. Now that it's free, maybe a screw will actually come out. Maybe with a different head. Okay, so I would hope it'd be without saying, but if you're going to be putting a new cable in there, take out the old end before you put the new cable through the center of it. Might help. So when adjusting, this is tight now. The cable goes through here, and right now the handle, the cable's all the way out. Put this down. It's easier with two hands. So now when I pull on the handle, there we go. Whoa. Okay. Jet is clean. Carb is out. Just gonna put the main back in. I definitely felt the emulsion tube move a little bit, so I definitely made a move. I was 99% sure that this style, it does come out. I just don't want to break it. Well, in either case, it wasn't really all that dirty. So, if we need to buy a new one, we can. In fact, I think I might even have one. That jet was fine. When I blow this type of thing out, the compressor set to, I think it's set to like 60 or 70 right now. Now when I dry it and blow all the water, it's set at the full 120. There we go. I like to put that in because there's a pretty good possibility of it having crap find its way in there. The more crap I could avoid, the better. Oh, that's clean. I'm gonna tighten it up with a wrench. Don't really want to use impact on it. Okay, so this goes on, this drain goes on the opposite end of the fuel inlet. Where did that plug? Here we are. These are pretty simple. I mean, they're more or less the same as a Honda. Why is this having such a hard time? Today I found something interesting out. So I took a vehicle to the Mazda dealer. It was not mine, but I had a day off, so being a nice person I am, I decided to help out. They had work and get a diagnostic done. So anyway, sorry. The complaint was that there was the center console where the screen and the GPS and everything would constantly reset and turn off and on. Now if you look on the internet, it will give you like 12 different things for reason why. One that's very uncommon to read about was the chip could be bad. But you'll get instructions like you need to turn it off and on, and I think I put this on backwards. You need to turn it off and on, and you need to reset it, and all kinds of things. Well, so you take it over, and they will update it, which is good. And then, you know, they'll go over, is this upside down, or is it just not fitting in there right? I just don't think it fit in there right. And then they come back and say, no, it's the chip. It's bad. Okay. So then you're like, okay, how much is it to install a new chip? $400. And that kind of sends you back in your seat a little bit, like, for a chip. Was it made out of gold? So you then, well, you basically tell them, I'll be back later, and just never have to do it again. They tell you that they took it out, you just don't have GPS anymore, but it won't restart anymore. You're kind of thinking to yourself, that's fine. But then, while you're waiting for them to write up the paperwork on this, decide to get on your phone and type in chip, navigation chip, whatever year it is, and for $40 you can buy a brand new one, and apparently the car will decode itself or code it for you, so no other car can ever use it again, but it's yours. So helpful hint, if you have a newer Mazda and yours does that, that's probably the reason why. Something to kind of point out when you're done, I take the posts off of scrap engines. This one is going to be short, because if you noticed, I forgot to mention it before, that's a pretty big sleeve on it. That one does not. So we're going to have to extend the post out. Luckily the ones that fit on Hondas will fit on this, so you just have to exchange them. If you don't have that ability, take one out, just double nut it, take it off, and go to like a local hardware store that sells them. This one was just a little bit shorter than I would like, but it is on there tight, so it should be fine. So I think it's time to give this thing a pull. So if you take out the bolts on the side, you can see the vent. You just take like a hose, goes from there to the top, and goes through, and you just put it back. Pretty simple. Okay, everything's ready. That should be idle. That's on. Now, this goes off and high. I'm gonna turn it off because it's gonna be pretty loud. So hopefully it works. I'm not gonna turn it to full RPM here because of the concrete. I'm gonna do it like in rocks in the back, but let's see what happens. Fuel's on. I never remember where choke is. You know what? I had it backwards. okay with that. I would have run a little bit longer, change the oil, we should be set. Well, if you have a Predator engine, it's not running right, or you have this concrete compactor, or just compactor in general, hopefully this helped you out. Put a thumbs up, subscribe, catch you on the next one. Bye.